Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today's Tuesday. August 4th. We'll read from the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle card deck by Bernadette King and Heidi Sutherlin. All right. Hope you're well and gearing up or already in the throes of a fabulous day. Every time we blink, I was thinking, anytime you want, you can start your day over at any moment. And in the book by Mark Nepo, The Book of Awakening, there's it's a daily reader he published quite some time ago. But in it, he talks about blinking. Every time we blink, we wake up. So really, how many times do you blink a day and have that opportunity to wake up? Start afresh. I'll take that one into my day. This reading is for the collective. If you want your own private reading, you can direct message me on any platform where you're seeing this. And although this message is recorded on August 4th, whenever you find it, it's right for you. Send it directly to anybody who you feel might need to hear it, see it. First card coming out, Two of Cups. We talked about this yesterday. I talked about it kind of in reference to some other ones. Perfect harmony, sacred union, mutual attraction, collaboration, emotional, being on the emotional vibe of something else. Finding a way toward emotional harmony. Sorry, I have a little itch on my ankle. Cute warthog. And how cute was it was Pumbaa in The Lion King. He was a warthog. Loving somebody no matter how the situation looks. Talk about harmonious, right? No matter how the situation looks, loving it and being able to see its good qualities and being able to accept its frailties and work with it and want to love and collaborate and, grow with that, long-term stuff. This is a Two of Cups. So like I was talking about yesterday, this is one of those cards that is more, the minor arcana are the cards that are energies that, or people or characteristics that we're dealing with on a daily basis. Where the major arcana are more these major like archetypal type of themes that are affecting and that are affecting something that's changing, something that we're being pointed to look at and meditate upon through the tarot. When the Two of Cups comes up, this is kind of like the Lover's card. It's combining the masculine and feminine. It's that really great blend of that really great balance. Blend, balance. I'm liking blend today rather than balance of those energies to express your emotions, right? Co-creating with the divine on a daily basis, really putting your hand in putting your hand in the hand of whatever is your higher power, whatever is bigger than you. Not imposing limitations on them. Again, like that's imposing limitations is like a non-acceptance of something, right? Restrictions or conditions. Just allowing something to be, you see them drinking out of water, out of the same cup. They're drinking out of the same cup, realizing that we all breathe the same air, we all drink the same water, and at some point it comes from, wherever in Africa. I'm in Washington, D.C., but it comes from somewhere else and arrives here in the form of rain or snow or whatever. We're all touching one another all the time. Remember that we are touching the divine in one another all the time. Remember the depiction last week when we used the Archangel Power Tarot deck. Really loved that, where the two hands were coming together to form the sun between them, to form power. When we work together, that's far more powerful. When we yield to one another and we allow ourselves to be malleable and to be molded by our experiences, and to change and to grow as a result. Messages, the Page of Cups was in the bottom of the deck yesterday. So yeah, again, messages about, I kind of like meditated a little further on that one, even this morning. And yeah, like as I went through my day, there were, occurrences that invited messages about, how to navigate things and emotionally, about things, emotional waters that I had the opportunity to navigate through. Feel through, learn from. Another card coming. Jellyfish. Queen of Cups. Oh, so we have a lot of cups on board today. Mercury is about to complete its retrograde. Well, no, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It actually has been out of retrograde for a while, but complete the degrees in Cancer over which it retrograded. So it's been direct for a while, and it's going back to the degree in Cancer at which it retrograded and then went backward. Now it's been going forward, and it's almost done in what's called the shadow period. So, and this is like the post shadow. So now, we've been having these opportunities to work with the emotional intelligence in a practical kind of way, and see where maybe it gets in the way of us doing our best in the practical ways that we want to show up in our like day-to-day tasks, in our strategizing, how we're going to do things. Again, like thinking about like, those limitations that we put on our relationships and our families, and the way we think about it, maybe the mental framework that we've been working with on a day-to-day basis, even the way we commute and the way we communicate, it may be actually getting in, those emotional waters and those old emotional baggage, if you will, maybe affecting how you're able to, and at this point, function on like the global level and the global scale beyond your, kind of your day-to-day, your close-up interactions. Now you're kind of having the opportunity to see a little more about how we could maybe be, those things have been getting in our way or keeping us from being our best, or being, showing the true maturity that we have learned and cultivated to this point. So now we are coming to a more mature standpoint in the Jellyfish, in the Queen of Cups, in a place of royalty. We've had the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords come up lately. King of Cups has been in the bottom of the deck quite a bit lately. And here's the Queen. I feel like the Queen of Cups came up too. Anyway, never mind. She's here today. And gorgeous, gorgeous. Although, the jellyfish will be something that people fear, right? They're actually so ethereal and so beautiful. But, yes, when our emotions are we're not really working, when we're kind of working from a mean, small, when our inner child is kind of sitting on the throne, maybe the best decisions aren't being made. So, have the opportunity to know that even though this is in the upright, in the reverse, I don't put my cards in reverse. You know, I feel like the opportunity to see where that possibly comes up, and we sting and we act in an unintelligent kind of way, in a spineless kind of way. So, with the jellyfish, we actually want to be in that beauty and work with our beauty, but also stand up for ourselves. We don't need to be, the Queen of Cups can kind of be a little bit like, maybe a little too flexible. But you know what? We can be flexible. She's inviting us to be flexible, but also with, that sense of royalty, that sense of leadership, rather than, being a doormat, and therefore then, piling up a bunch of resentments, and that's the place where we tend to sting. Or, being nurturing of that inner child, being nurturing of our spirit, maybe taking our time a little bit before we, go into the water. Notice, oh, there might be jellyfish, maybe I want to not go in those waters right now. Respect the jellyfish, respect those parts of you that are maybe a little triggery, that kind of thing. Black Panther, Queen of Wands is here. So we've got two queens on the board. So yeah, and this one, she's altruism and determination. I found this one coming up for me this morning, really inspiring me to do my workout today. But yeah, intense love of life. The place where we can combine these two energies coming into, is combining these two energies, is combining, she has a little bit of, because she is the Queen of Wands, there is a masculine, she's got that fire, she's got that masculine element in her hip pocket. So she'll keep you from, being spineless, standing up for who you are, being in a true sense of leadership, and really wearing your heart on your sleeve in a way that is of benefit to others, that shows that you love something, that you want to engage with it, not and be act upon things in a way that is with not only with true intelligence, with higher wisdom, that kind of thing. Black Panther is also something that's going to take its time. It's very, both of these queens are beautiful in their own way. Where the Black Panther has this, kind of oozes this kind of very passionate, very fiery sexuality. The jellyfish is a little more delicate. So we want to combine these two energies to come across and approach things in a way that, like I said, like engages. It's really loving what you do. That shows that showing up with joy, with not fearfulness, but and to take to take these two elements, instead of making like a hot steamy mess, which fire and water could do, right? You boil something, it can become a hot steamy. Boil it so it's like I was thinking about how my tea kettles, I love how my tea kettles clatter along, and they're so joyful, and they make music. Doing something that's making music. So again, we're coming back to this kind of energy, the Two of Cups, where we're combining things really, really well, and we are holding hands with the divine to co-create with the divine, to say, you know what, I'm going to bring you down, and I'm going to put you in my hands, and I'm going to put my hands on everything I can today in a loving and balanced way, right? We don't want to get over, mind your energy, know when you have to step back a little bit. Sometimes the most loving gesture is to step back again, take care of yourself. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords. So we've got another queen. We've got three queens in the house today. And then the dragonfly shows up, and a dragonfly did show up on my windowsill here today, and that's the Eight of Wands. So things might be happening at a fast pace. So engage all of these queens. We've got a Queen of Swords, that's intelligence, great sense of humor. She's going to take, she also takes great joy in life. She has a wonderful dry sense of humor. Use that to kind of cut through the BS and look and step back and look and just let things roll that have nothing to do with you, so you aren't resentful, so you can stand in a more altruistic and loving and determined and keep working your thing. These are three queens. So these three queens, these are all, this is that feminine. So really bringing the feminine is really wanting to come through today, to balance out any masculine energy that might be running amok. And they want to be here to help us work with all of what might be, like I said, like a very fast pace, a lot of energy on a lot of things to juggle. These ladies can certainly do it. So, quick wit, facing demons, profound transformation, which dragonflies are a creature of transformation as well. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. Do all the things, like, share, subscribe. Any interaction with the messages gets them out to anybody who needs to hear them, who might not. Like I said, rain falls somewhere else, turns up to snow, and a maybe cup of coffee for you. You don't even know. Small things may mean a lot. Remember that as you go in. Small things mean a lot. Stay curious. Yeah, Knight of Wands is up again. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm having too much fun. Have a great day. I love you. Thanks for being here.